Welcome to Rational Kindness. I'm joined today at the table by Cynthia Midiwo, an incredibly kind person, hence the name of the show. We're going to talk about an organisation called Hattie Pearl. Cynthia, welcome to the table.
Thank you, Nigel.
So good to have you here. So first of all, let's talk a little bit. What is Hattie Pearl?
Hattie Pearl is a non-profit homeless ministry in Jefferson County. Work with the homeless there in our little community. And we provide showers during the summer and lunches. And then when the fall comes, we do a Thanksgiving luncheon where they come in and they have lunch. And then they also receive a coat on their way out with another lunch that they can take with them. And during the winter months, when it's really cold, we work alongside of a program called Severe Weather Shelter Network, where they house the homeless that are living on the street when the weather gets to be 32 degrees or below. And then what Hattie Pearl does, we help provide dinner for those nights that they're in the shelter.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So the local churches open up their doors and allow people to spend the night there?
Yes.
Oh, that's superb. Hattie Pearl, though, that's a really interesting name. What are its origins?
Well, the name Hattie Pearl is my mom's name.
Oh, really?
And so I decided to name this ministry after her passing. The way it originated was I was a missionary in Africa, and these tribesmen were having a little disagreement, and so one set fire to the other's apartment complex.
Oh, no.
And so the next day in the paper, you see all these people sitting on the road with whatever little stuff they had with them. And so I was having breakfast with my friend, and we decided, what could we do to help them? I thought about it, and I prayed about it, and it was put on my heart to work with the people in my own backyard, in my own neighborhood. And so I came back, and I started working for a company, and then my supervisor and I there helped me to get my 501c nonprofit, and then I started feeding the homeless out of the back of my rodeo.
Oh, wonderful.
And so it was really small. We didn't have any food or any income, so it was just starting.
Yeah.
So I'd drive around and I'd just hand out what we had. And then I got to be in a motel, and we had coffee and donuts. And I did that when it really got cold. And then after that, I got involved in a church near Sheridan in Denver. And they let me use their lobby, and it was really great. And people would come there, and I was able to have hot breakfast, and I was able to have, coffee and scrambled eggs or pancakes, stuff like that. So.
Something that's filling, warm.
Yeah. Yeah. And they really are very appreciative when they get stuff like that.
Excellent. What do you actually need? What would be your present-day need?
Well, once COVID hit, we weren't allowed in the church anymore. And then the churches closed their doors. They weren't even letting the homeless live or sleep there during the cold nights. What our present need is, we'd like to have a van. We don't want a food truck. Just a little van that we can convert into a little kitchen where I could have little appliances when I go out. I can make pancakes, or I can make waffles, and they could have hot coffee or hot chocolate, and still have their sack lunches as well.
Right.
So it would be like a little breakfast and then their lunches.
No, I understand. And that means that you could also go to them rather than them having to try and find you.
Exactly.
Which would be a much better way of doing it.
Yeah. And when they have to go to another place to eat, like they have stuff and they're afraid to leave their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So they can't, because they steal it. People steal it. And then another reason is that they're up so late at night. I feel like they're up all night because, they have to wash their stuff, and so they're not getting really good sleep at all.
Right.
So a lot of them don't arrive or get up until about noon.
How do people donate to this organization?
Oh, well, we have a website that you can go to. It's called hattiepearls.org, and they could go into that website, and there's a place there they could tab for donations, or they could send a check to our office, which is located at 7240 West 12th Avenue in Lakewood. Yeah, and that zip code is 80214.
Right.
Or they could also call us, leave a message, and someone will call them back. And our number is 720-695-5419.
Excellent, excellent. And of course, if anyone has a van that would fit your needs, remember it's a tax write-off. They can actually give it to you.
Yes.
And that would really, really help you.
Yes, it would really help.
I'm hoping that someone that sees this program would be willing to make that donation. I really do. Let's talk about Africa a little bit, because, I know it's a bit away from Hattie Pearl's, and I love the fact that you named it after your mum. That's wonderful. That really is wonderful. What else have you done in Africa? Because you've been over there quite a number of times, haven't you?
Yes, I've been over there 3 times, and I worked at an orphanage both times. What we did there was I would take kids that were HIV positive. We'd take them to the hospital, you know. I'd also helped build a preschool in the little village where I was staying, and I also taught the preschool class once.
Oh, wonderful.
Once we got everything up and running again.
That must have been fun teaching them.
Oh, it was lots of fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Do you ever want to go back there?
Oh, yes, I do. I would really love to go back there.
In fact, didn't you say you had a friend that lives out there?
Yes, I do. I have a friend that lives in Tanzania, and I would love to go visit her.
Have you ever been to Tanzania?
No, I've only been to Nairobi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
What would be your biggest concern when it comes to the homeless?
My biggest concern would be getting them off the street, and that's a long process.
Oh,
It is.
yes.
My thing, Nigel, is taking one at a time. You can't do it all at once. You can't take a whole bunch of people and just get them off the street. I feel like one-on-one friendships, build those friendships up, and that's the way I think it should be done. I had a young lady come to our office for a lunch a couple weeks ago, and she didn't have any clothes on. She had a bra and men's underwear.
Oh,
and
my
that was
goodness.
it. So I said, "Sweetheart, where are your clothes?" And she said, "Well, I had to take a shower and I had to take them off." And I said, "Well, you need to put them back on, sweetheart." And then she was very, 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 it's kind of like drawn to me, you know, and we started talking about her living on the streets and what can be done. So she's come back almost every day the last couple of weeks to get lunch. And then yesterday I wasn't in the office, and I came and there were flowers on my desk from her.
How nice.
It was really nice. They weren't totally alive, but it was very nice.
Well, remember,
gesture.
it's the thought that counts. It really is in a situation like this.
I was very touched by that, you know, that she would remember that. And so I'm hoping that she'll keep coming back and we'll build friendship even more, and I could, you know, give her more resources of where to go to try to get off the street.
Right.
There aren't very many resources for young women, young men, single, but family and veterans, they've pretty much got a lot of places to go to.
Yes.
You know, and they get really good help, but it's the single people that I tend to worry about.
We've interviewed a number of people down here that have been running for the local council, and every one of them, one of their top concerns is homelessness in Longmont and how they can help these people. So this is coming from a government side rather than a private individual side. But I think homelessness is something that everyone is really beginning to worry about. Well, those of us that have a heart is really beginning to worry about, because it's getting a little out of control, which is a great, great shame.
Yeah.
Would you have a closing statement that you'd like to make?
Well, I would like to just, first of all, thank you for having me here.
Oh, you're welcome.
You know,
you're welcome.
and,
Anytime.
Oh, thank you, Nigel. Just that when people see homeless people, you know, they're not all bad people.
Right.
You know, they and they're not all on drugs. They're not all criminals. You know, these are individuals that have homes and that have families. You know, And due to circumstances, you know, in their lives, you know, they wind up on the street. And there's not a whole lot, you know, they know about it.
Right.
And I think people who are just getting on the street, you know, and really don't want to be there, they can get off really quick. But those people who aren't sure of how to go about it, and they're there for year in and year out, and it's just really sad. And those are the people that I like to work with. Hopefully someday, you know, I'll see some fruit, you know, and it's not going to happen overnight. And it does take time. It takes lots of time.
A good friend of mine who I occasionally have a beer with down at the Speakeasy in town, he was homeless for a short period of time. And he said the biggest problem that he had was you go for a job, they ask for an address, and you cannot give them an address, which means they cannot get the job, which is a total catch-22. It's ridiculous. But Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much about talking about your mum. She would be very, very proud to know that her name is on this organization. Incredibly proud.
Thank you.
I know that for a fact. Cynthia, thank you so much for coming in and joining us.
Thank you, Nigel.
Thank you. Everybody, homelessness is getting out of control in this country. They're not getting the help they need, and it's people like Cynthia that does their utmost to help these people get back on their feet. And they just want help standing up a little bit. Prop them up, point them in the right direction, and they'll get on with their lives again. Anyway, this was Rational Kindness. Be kind. Look up Cynthia's website. If you can make a donation, that would be perfect. If you've got a van that still runs, can be street legal, and you're willing to give it to Cynthia's organization, please, please, please consider it. Because you won't just be helping Cynthia, you'll be helping hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that need help. Anyway, have a good think about that. I'm Nigel Aves, your host. This was Rational Kindness. Thank you very much. See you next time.